increase their score just by 5 points on this 21-point score guide that we're going to look at in a second, they could reduce their chances of dementia and stroke by 60%, up to 60%. And so that's a major thing. We're talking about adding up all those percentages in midlife of improving on some risk factors. If you can increase your score, and we're going to look at how can you increase your score. What bringing blood pressure down from what to what gives you a point, and so on. So I'm going to do this live right now. I'm going to check my score, and I've done this before, so I'm a little embarrassed, but my score is not great.
What is it?
Well, it's 13. I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, but let's go through it. So
I'm doing it now.
All right, cool. So what we see is the first category is your resting blood pressure with or without treatment. And so I'm going to throw out there that I haven't gotten a blood pressure very recently, but I've never been hypertensive. It's 120 over 80 or less. So that awards me maximal points. And the more points, the better on this scale. Your hemoglobin A1C or how often your blood sugar is above normal over 3 months. It's a rough average of that. I'm less than 5.7, which puts me in the non-diabetic category, and the categories range from 5.7 to 6.4 and above that. And so I'm going to get maximal points for that. And then your cholesterol level. I'm not on treatment, and my cholesterol is below 190. And so that benefits me as well. And then obesity. I don't know my BMI, but I'm going to put myself in the obese category just based on that. And so let's see where that puts me. And then recommended dietary habits include, and it lists out all these dietary habits, which I think is actually a reasonable framework based on everything we just talked about with Tim Spector and Federica Amati recently on previous episodes.
Yeah, and dietary habits are so difficult to look at, especially in this kind of UK Biobank and these kind of studies.
Yeah, looking at subjectively reported things that have to do with the bias of remembering and reporting honestly is fraught. But for myself, do I have 4 to 5 servings of fruit and vegetables per day, 2 servings of lean protein per day, 3 or more servings of whole grains per day, less than 1,500 milligrams sodium per day, less than 36 ounces of sugar, sweet beverages, soda, juice, etc. per week? And so let me say the answer choices are fewer than 2 of the recommendations above, 2 of the recommendations above, or 3 or more. So I'm just going to throw out there 2.
Okay.
See where we're at. Alcohol consumption. We're really getting personal here. So 4 or more drinks a week, 2 to 3, or 0 to 1. The studies that looked at alcohol, particularly the young onset one that we went through, categorized it as 0 or abstinence. 0 to 1 for women, 1 to 2 for men was kind of a 1 level risk, and then a 2 was more than 1 for women and more than 2 for men. So anyway, for me, I'm probably at 4 or more per week. And then smoke cigarettes. I never smoked, so I'm going to put that. Aerobic activities, less than or more than 150 minutes of moderate or 75 minutes of vigorous. So that goes back to those METS categories that we talked about. And then sleep habits, untreated sleep disorder or treated sleep disturbances, and at least 7 hours of sleep per night. So I have at least 7 hours. I'm not treated. And then your stress level, high level of stress, moderate, manageable. I'm going to say moderate. 3 kids.
Lucky you, buddy.
Work. You're at high?
I'm at an all-time high these days.
All right.
Okay.
And then social relationships. I have few or no close relationships. I have at least 2 people. And so I'm going to put 2 people, and those categories include spouse, children that I'm close to and I can talk to.
I like this last one.
Meaning in life. I do too. I think this doesn't get, I was actually talking to somebody who lost their home in the fires recently, in the Palisade fires. And he said, you know what, I think meaning in life, because we're going through this scale for the warriors that we treat, meaning in life is underrated. It should get more than 1 point. And I agree with him. Yeah. I often struggle to find value or purpose in my life. I generally feel that my life has meaning and or purpose. So I'm going to say the second one. And I'm going to the next page. Hope you guys are doing this with me.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
And then I get my score. It's 15. Okay, I kind of, maybe I was a little more lenient towards myself this time around. Yesterday when I got 13. So then it gives you some recommendations about how to improve, and it's linking you off to, the government sites like CDC, WHO, American Heart Association, some stress management programs.
But you get your score, and does it tell you anything about your risk for dementia at that score?
So we know that if you can improve that by 5 points and you're under 50 years old, you can drop your risk of dementia by almost 60%. So I'm looking for 5 points on that scale.
Okay.
Ways that I can gain 5 points.
Okay.
That's my objective. That's the way I'm reading this based on the evidence.
That's super interesting because it's not necessarily meeting a specific score, but rather, just completely goal-oriented in terms of it being for yourself.
The most actionable thing I've seen out there.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. And we will link this in the video description. All right. Amazing. Did I already say that I scored a 17?
You got a 17?
Beat you out, buddy.
Damn. I got to get to the gym.
Yeah, I think I was pretty honest. And you really want to be pretty honest with a score like this, right? Because, it's just relative to the score that you initially score. Yeah.